Good evening, everybody. We got week 6 today against Terminal of the Philadelphia Phrillish. When I was prepping for this team, I noticed a lot of, well, first of all, a lot of really fast Mons. You have Archon, Diglett, Meowth, and Mischievous are all fairly quick. In fact, a fair bit faster than a lot of the Mons whose top speeds I've seen thus far. Archon at 70, which isn't like super fast comparatively to the format from what I've seen so far, but Diglett at 95 and Meowth at 90. I'm like looking at other weeks here, and I don't even think I see any other Mons. I guess Abra hits 90. Yanma hits 95. Okay, so Darkside from week 2 had the only comparable like super fast-paced speed that I've seen thus far. So that's something that was a bit worrying to me in terms of having to prep for, because that doesn't necessarily mean that they even need Tailwind to outspeed me. They do have the option with Archon and Pick-a-Peck, but I would imagine, you know, if you're gonna run Tailwind, it might be to help out some of the slower Mons that you may be bringing to the field to help them outspeed some of my more mid-speed Mons. But then on the flip side, you also have Phrillish and Mischievous, both of which will get Trick Room. So that is another mode of speed control that I need to be aware of, and my track record against Trick Room is not very good. I've had some close matches with Trick Room, but it's been a bit of a stopping point against me, just because I tend to base my mods around being a little bit faster, if possible. But because I have so many like base like 60, 65s in here within that range, it makes it difficult to deal with both Trick Room and Tailwind, because, you know, either one kind of shuts me down. Thankfully, I do have the ability to set Trick Room and Tailwind myself. Trick Room probably won't, well, I know for a fact it won't be coming out in this match. It may come out in the future, but Ghastly does get access to Trick Room. I'm not using it this week. I thought about it, but if the only instance I would want to set Trick Room is if they were going to go the Tailwind route. But this week I am also going the Tailwind route instead with Finneon. Now, does that mean I'm going to lead Finneon? I don't know. that remains to be seen. That'll depend on what I see with 6 Mons I see pop up. I don't know. I'm inclined to probably not lead Finneon, just due to there are some really strong leads that can be led here that will just shut it down instantly. Like, I really don't want Finneon. Finneon is meant to be in front of Phrillish in order to run Storm Drain, but outside that, it's probably not dealing much damage at all to it, so it would need its partner to pick up the slack. But running this next to like Mischievous or even Archon or even Diglett or even Meowth, honestly, like any of these top Mons here, or Sandile for Intimidate, with support, this thing can be trouble. It can be a lot of trouble. So I had to make a guess as to what mode they were gonna go for. They probably are gonna bring options for both, and probably will adapt to what I bring. But I don't know. Trick Room has historically worked well, so that's kind of what I'm expecting at this point. Whether or not we can deal with it remains to be seen. I do have some, specifically one method, well, I guess a few if you count priority, but I have some ways to deal with it and to make Trick Room not be as overwhelming as it has been in the past. But again, you know, these players are smart. Everybody's smart, so they find their ways around it. They have answers to my answers, so, you know, it is what it is. But so this is kind of what I had to go against. I'm expecting some combination of Archon, Phrillish, and Meowth to make an appearance, with Diglett, Mischievous, Sandile, and even Clobbopus potentially making an appearance. Sandshrew could be good if it wasn't quad weak to both Fire for Houndour and Fighting for Meditite and Riolu. So I have a feeling this could make an appearance, just depending on what they think I'm gonna bring, but I don't think this will show up. Clobbopus actually gets his stats aren't that awful. They're not great, but in Trick Room he could be a menace. And then he also gets Sucker Punch as well, and then Technician, so he has the ability to deal big damage. And I usually like right off the bottom like 3 or 4, and that always ends up biting me. So I'm not doing that this time. So we'll hope that my my preparation can save me. But again, it's not just me who has to do all the thinking here. My opponent will be doing everything they can to slow it down. So this is the team that I did end up bringing. Anorth has been on the team since the beginning, and I don't think I've brought it to matches, but I haven't used it at all. This may be the first week where I actually decide to bring it out, only because Choice Band and then like 2 stabs, knockoff, and Aqua Jet for priority can deal pretty massive damage. And then Rock Slide, if I'm moving first, I can get flinches, which is why I invested in a lot of speed, and then attack, just to deal big damage and try to take KOs if I decide to bring this thing in. It'll depend on matchup again, and historically I haven't felt comfortable bringing it. I know it gets Swift Swim, and I could theoretically run a Rain team, which is exactly what this kind of looks like, minus like the Houndour. Because you could run like Riolu with Prankster Rain Dash, and then you get Tentacool, Finneon. Then you start blasting water moves. But I did not want to run that this week, and I generally don't like to run Prankster Weather. At least I don't feel comfortable with it on this team, at least right now. That could be a mistake. I don't know, it could be a mistake. But I will not be running Rain, at least for the foreseeable future, unless I think I have a good matchup for it. I've kind of been stuck running Inner Focus on Riolu instead of Prankster. This has kind of become a staple, just because the combination of this lead with Ghastly makes for basically Fake Out's useless. So if you Fake me out, you're just wasting a move for that turn, aside from the damage that you get from it. And then Eviolite to kind of keep it bulky for Follow Me's. This set is a lot more, I guess, offensive. I'm running Drain Punch, Thunder Punch, and Bullet Punch for coverage, also for some priority, some life gain, just so if it can stick around a little bit longer and just be a general nuisance. Follow Me is super useful. It probably isn't as good against leads like Diglett and Mischievous, just because you can just like spam Bulldoze or Earthquake next to Levitate. But that's also why I like this lead, because Ghastly also gets Levitate, so he's not burdened by that at all. But Diglett does get Sucker Punch. What it's punching you with, I have no idea. I still to this day don't know, but it gets Sucker Punch, so that's something I'm not to look out for Ghastly. Ghastly, I think I am running the same set I have last week, and I think I have run most weeks that I've brought it. A little bit of defensive investment, but I run Sash just to have, and then max speed, and then full special attack EVs, just so it hits hard. Like this, he's meant to take some KOs and then pass out. So, and generally he usually does a pretty good job at that. And then Icy Wind is because Ice is incredible into this team, being super effective against Archon, Diglett, Sandile, Pick-a-Peck, and Gossifleur. Also for speed control, a mode for speed control, and then Taunt for dealing with Trick Room, or Tailwind if I think either one's going to come out. I passed over Tentacool, who I've also brought a few times into matches, and in most cases it serves me pretty well. This time, instead of running a more defensive item on it, I decided to go with Wise Glasses to give it more damage output. Sometimes, I mean, it only has base 50 special attack, which is nothing impressive. But this week, in combination with Surf, Icy Wind, and Giga Drain, I think it can deal some good damage with some speed control. And then Surf is also meant to pair with Finneon, who I'm running Storm Drain with, so I'm trying to get that action going. We'll see if it pans out. I could switch in and whatnot, but again, it like depends on positioning. And some matches I've had pretty poor positioning in, which doesn't allow me to take advantage of these kinds of situations. So hopefully I can get these two to have some sort of synergy in the match, because water against this team, spread water damage is pretty good into this team, along with running Tailwind in order to deal with speed control if I think I need a Tailwind, if I bring this in later in the game. And then Psybeam, just so I'm not, if this thing is stuck in against Phrillish, I just lose. But if I have any like buffed special attack plus Psybeam, I can at least do some damage to it, especially if it's running Water Absorb. Then if I wouldn't be able to do anything. And then Houndour again, I didn't bring it last week and I kind of missed bringing it, so I brought it back this week. It's fairly useful, great typing, Life Orb makes it deal tons of damage, Unnerve for preventing berry usage. This week I'm running an attack set, a physical attack set, which, you know, you look at its attack and it's 60 versus 80, but this team looked like it gets pretty hard on the physical side, so I wanted to switch it up and run some stab, fire and dark moves for flame charge and crunch, and then sucker punch for more stab, but also priority, which is really good in the instance of Trick Room, especially into Mischievous and Phrillish, both of which who are pretty bulky and can be tough to deal with outside that. So that is what I'm running this week, and I just got a message, we're ready to rumble. So let me back at it here, go into find a user, cool. Spelling is correct. Let's do it. I need to... How on earth do I need to pull up the... you know what? Where did I put the... I'm gonna have to go to Discord for this. There is a specific... I think this is what I have to do. Is there an option for adding... How in the heck? I don't want to do that either. How do I switch this? I don't think I can paste in here, can I? Question mark? No? Do let's see what they come back with. That's all I need. I just don't know where to put it. Maybe I put it in here? It might just be that obvious. Yeah, it's in the chat box. Okay. Stupid. Thank you, I appreciate that. I know it's I'm a bit slow, still learning some of this stuff, but okay, cool. Stop the timer. Get these going. I gotta go back in here. I gotta paste again. Yep. Same one. Challenge again. Stop timer. And one more time. Cool. Alright, well that's easy. I've learned yet again how to do something new. Yeah, this is gonna be... All of these have been tough so far. Stop timer. Game 1, game 2, game 3. Cool. Good luck, have fun, let's go! Alright, what is... Okay, so this is... I mean, I guess it could be Trick Room, but all these mons look pretty quick, so I'm gonna assume no Trick Room on this team. Oh, no timer. Yeah, sure. Okay, so this looks like Tailwind for sure. Unless they're banking on me setting Tailwind and then baiting me into Trick Room. But that would be assuming that I would be running Tailwind on Finion, which I am. So that'd be a smart assumption. The lead that I think is gonna come out here is either Mischievous and Meowth. Actually, it could be Diglett in either of these two as well, Archon or Mischievous, just because of Levitate and Flying. Then you just spam Earthquake. I think I want to lead... What's worst case here? Mischievous is scary. I'm going to lead Ghastly, Riolu. Houndour and back is pretty juicy. Because Tentacle does not take an Earthquake, I'll tell you that right now. And there's no Phrillish. Okay. Honestly, Anorith looks kind of good here. I think it's finally time to bring him in. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. Alright, so okay, so this looks like Earthquake or Bulldoze with Levitate. Okay, so this is one of the things that's pretty scary. Especially for Houndour and back, which means I need to deal with a Diglett as fast as possible. I can't imagine Trick Room's coming out here unless this is like a surprise min speed Diglett. God, that would be so genius. That would be so smart. Because if I Icy Wind into Trick Room, that's just extra bad. So I could follow me. This could use Sucker Punch too. Do I think I'm gonna get Sucker Punched here? I guess I can just follow me anyway. I think I Icy Wind, follow me, and see what happens. Because if they go for Sucker Punch, well, they have to debate on whether or not they want to even use Sucker Punch here. Because this priority +2 follow me would just redirect it, I guess, and it wouldn't work. I'm pretty sure that's how it works for yeah, that would have to be how it works for Sucker Punch. And then Mischievous could also just go for like a Shadow Ball, or it could even actually, oh, it's probably running Psychic. Protect, yeah, follow me. Psychic, yeah, it is Psychic, okay. I don't know if the crit mattered there, it may have mattered. Depends on what the item is. Critical hit. Doesn't look like Life Orb or anything. Not getting the Icy Wind off on the Diglett is pretty scary. Because it's still going to outspeed. It can still Sucker Punch, and now I have no follow me to deal with that. And also, if it decides to Sucker Punch here, my Sucker Punch will not... I mean, it'll still proc before Ghastly goes, but Ghastly will have to go down to Sash, and that's pretty scary. I'll bring Houndour in here and see what happens, just to threaten Sucker Punch. I could Icy Wind. He can still just Earthquake if he wants to. That probably just KOs Houndour, unfortunately. And then Fake Out Meowth and back with Technician's pretty scary too. Yeah, not getting the Icy Wind off is really bad. I know it for sure I'll move at least before these two. I could Sucker Punch Diglett. It could be Sash. I'm gonna Icy Wind Sucker Punch the Diglett. Sash, yep, okay. It'll outspeed. It might just take out Houndour here, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. That's fine. Okay, I take out the Diglett. Positioning-wise here, probably not the best. Down to Sash. Mischievous is at minus speed. This thing probably has like Shadow Sneak or something. Then Meowth comes in with Fake Out. Who can just Fake Out Anorith. Yeah, this is probably a loss. Do I risk it? I could Protect. That's so obvious. Fake Out into like Protect. What does that really get me? Protect, stall turn, the Fake Out. Because Meowth probably has a way to deal with Ghost types anyway. I could Icy Wind. I'm not going to reveal any other move. This is probably a loss anyway. I'm going to do that and Rock Slide. Archon comes out, Fake Out. Yeah, makes sense. Icy, interesting switch. Saving Mischievous for later. Probably just to get its speed back because it outspeeds all these mons. That would be my guess. Slide. And flinch makes sense. Icy Wind damage. Icy Wind Rock Slide is pretty juicy. This prevents a switch in. Does Archon have any sort of... it gets quick attack, so that's irrelevant. I think I just Icy Wind Rock Slide again. Yeah. Archon will go down here, assuming it hits. Nope, it will not. Berry Juice. Oh, okay, never mind. I forgot. Icy Wind moved first. Anorith is undersped, or yeah, Anorith underspeeds Ghastly. Now it has to. Do you take out Ghastly here? Do I reveal anything else? If I Icy Wind, I think I Icy Wind for speed control, just in the off chance that it goes for Anorith, I can outspeed next turn. Or, you know what? I'm just gonna Shadow Ball and then Rock Slide. Yep, takes out Ghastly, makes sense. We'll see what happens with the Rock Slide. It just KOs. Okay, Choice Band is busted. Choice Band is absolutely busted. Okay. It's the first time I actually bring Anorith into a fight, and then I win the match. Maybe I'm just dumb for not bringing it. I don't know. That could absolutely be it. We got Sash on Diglett, which makes sense. What was it? Berry Juice on Archon? Berry Juice, yeah, okay. Alright. Alright, what's the adjustment? I don't even know if Tailwind's being run. It looks like it would be on Archon or Pick-a-Peck, but... The same lead's not bad. It's, Rock Slide did so well into this team. Banded Rock Slide. But I need to make sure I can have that set up in the end game. Finneon's probably not coming out. This was mainly as a Phrillish counter. Houndour's not bad here. Just minus the Diglett. I guess Archon's kind of scary too, but like Life Orb Stab Sucker Punch is juicy. I could theoretically just bring the same too and see what happens, because they could try to lead Fake Out again. Anorith and back is so strong, and then Houndour. I'm gonna run these 4 again and see what happens. I think this is probably okay. This could be the Tailwind angle. Diglett could be running Sucker Punch. They know I have Sash. So Sucker Punch won't KO. I could also follow me. Archon could also just protect this turn, but what does it get then? I think I Icy Wind regardless, unless Archon... Yeah, Archon doesn't get priority other than Quick Attack. Diglett does get Sucker Punch and Feint. I think I always Icy Wind here. The question is whether or not I think Tailwind is coming out. Because if I think Tailwind is coming out, I can try to Bullet Punch into Archon to take it out. Yeah, because is Diglett just going to protect, or is Archon going to protect? I don't know. I think I just Thunder... but if they attack Riolu here... I'm doing it. Sucker Punch, yeah, for Sash. Icy Wind. I can hopefully take out Archon with Thunder Punch. Yeah, okay, perfect. Perfect. That's why I ran Thunder Punch. I don't have the speed drop of Mischievous either. I can just follow me though. It could protect. Again, I think I just Icy Wind and follow me here. Yeah. Yeah. Sucker Punch failed. Psychic, I survived. So the crit did matter, I guess, game 1. That's good info to have. Pick-a-Peck comes out. I could Icy Wind again, but I think I just Shadow Ball into Mischievous. And follow me seems fine. Yeah, follow me seems fine. Yeah. Shadow Ball. The only thing that would have been bad was if this was a Scarf. Oh, Tailwind does come out. Okay. Flying. I think I just bring this in. Unnerve. I go for Icy Wind and Sucker Punch because they have speed control. Let's see what happens. Knockoff, yep, that makes sense. Anorith comes in. Honestly, I just Aqua Jet into Sucker Punch, and that's it. GG, well played. I was expecting a different team composition than what showed up. I thought for sure Phrillish was going to come out. I think maybe the Storm Drain, like the combination of Storm Drain on Finneon and then Tentacool just being a super especially bulky water type, like resisting a bunch of moves on that front. Maybe those two scared it out, which honestly benefited me. I bent a lot of my move set around dealing with it. So maybe not bringing it was the smart play because I had prepared for it. Again, I was once again proven wrong with Pick-a-Peck coming out. Was not expecting that of all of them. If you were gonna bring Tailwind, I thought for sure it would be Archon and not Pick-a-Peck. But yeah, you got me on that. Mischievous. So these top four coming out, I expected. These four are really well-rounded core, and then Diglett synergizes with Archon and Mischievous insanely well. I think the only reason I was able to withstand that was because Ghastly had Levitate. If it was Gengar, it would be a different story because he doesn't have it anymore. And then like Fake Out pressure from Meowth is terrifying, but I'm wondering if they predicted that I would run Inner Focus Riolu, I think I've run that for a few weeks, maybe even like 2 of the past 3 matches I've run Inner Focus on, with only one of them I'm running Prankster. So not really focusing on like the Fake Out for Riolu, and I think I've led Ghastly Riolu a lot too, just because of Fake Out. So not leading with that was really smart as well, and saving it in back for Anorith, who I have to give props to because Anorith carried the first game. I may have been underestimating its abilities, I guess. I don't know. It just never seemed like it had a good like matchup, and its speed's pretty good, and its attack is great, and it has like base 50 defenses, 45 HP is like not awful, but I don't know. And it's got a great move pool to use too, but I just always feel like it's just gonna it just gets destroyed. But maybe this was the game to prove me wrong. I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, as far as post-game analysis, I mean, like, Anorith carry. Well, I mean, this doesn't happen without Riolu. I mean, like, Follow Me busted. So, and then the fact that, you know, I was able to surprise the Archon with a Thunder Punch, you know, they could have been running Tailwind there, like that. Because if Tailwind came out, entirely different game, still in trouble. Like the Sucker Punch from Houndour can only do so much outside that, and like Bullet Punch was for priority in case like Trick Room or Tailwind went up. Didn't end up needing it because Follow Me is crazy. And then Choice Band, Anorith, I guess, just like destroys. So there's really not a whole lot of analysis to be done, I guess. It was just spam spread moves is basically just what I did. Ghastly Icy Wind for like the entire match. Follow Me for redirection with the occasional Shadow Ball, and then Rock Slide. Aqua Jet at the end for priority. I don't know. This could have been bad. I mean, they played really well game 1 too. The only thing that confused me was the switch from Mischievous into, I think, Archon game 1. Pretty sure that's what it was. No, I think it was withdrew, yeah, and then it ended up taking an Icy Wind, which dealt 45%. So that, I don't know, that was kind of spooky. And then the Rock Slide just took it out entirely. I know it's super effective, and Archon is kind of frail, but I don't know. Yeah, that switch was confusing to me. I think the idea behind it was to get Mischievous' speed back, which makes sense because it does outspeed my entire team. So I understood the logic there. I think probably what what went wrong is that I icy winded, and then therefore I maintained speed control, and then I could just spam rock slide, which was the downside. So they definitely played well. I think the running spread moves was what I wanted to do into this team, which is why I ran Surf. Wanted to run Surf, Storm Drain, just because they themselves have a lot of spread move opportunities with like Phrillish running Surf, or like Surf into like Protect Diglett or something, or Diglett running Earthquake into Levitate, as we saw. And I felt the only way I could deal with it was using my own spread moves to deal with it. And then also not running Trick Room, I think, benefited me a lot. Had it been like a mischievous Phrillish like Trick Room set, I think it would have been very difficult for me, just because I tend to be prepared for speed control with like Icy Wind, Sucker Punches, stuff like that. Like Follow Me helps regardless of speed control still. But being able to manage speed control with Icy Wind was, I think, the difference maker in this set. So, yeah, Trick Room is what I was worried about. It's why I added Taunt to Ghastly this week. Didn't end up needing it, thankfully. It's nice to have. Better to bring it and not need it. But yeah, well played, Terminal. GG. Terminal. Sorry, there's no I in there. My bad. But yeah, no, GG. Well played. That's a cool team you have there. That's very well drafted. You have both modes, which I think a lot of you are really good drafters, and you all have, you generally have both modes of speed control, whether it be 10-1 or Trick Room. But then like the synergy that you have, especially with like the top 4, was very smart. Very smart that I had to pick up on it, otherwise I would have been in trouble. But cool team, very cool team. It was fun, and I'm looking forward to the next match too. That's gonna be it from me. I have some things I gotta do. One of which is I told my friend I'd go for a run, so I should probably stand by that, because otherwise I'll sit at this desk for the rest of the night. So thanks for chilling, hanging out. I've got another match coming up that I'm supposed to schedule for this week, and then another one on Sunday that is already scheduled. So we've got some spaced out matches again. I'm not playing catch up that much anymore, so there's not going to be a bunch of matches crammed into like 5 days. But that's going to be it. So I'll catch you guys later. See you later.